Hello friends, today I'll be talking about the business strategies which are happening in India, the merger and acquisitions which are happening in India, and how the ecosystem in the current era and the trends in India, which will actually give you insight. The basis of doing business in India is very, very easy. The insight on how the acquisitions are happening and what are the verticals as a startup you should concentrate. So I'll be giving a few of the pointers which might be useful to you, and if you have any questions particularly as to how to strategize a whole plan, I'll be happy to assist. To start with, I'll be talking about the development of cognitive sense. So what is important for a business entrepreneur or any startup in India or across the globe, that winning the battle of doing business is very, very easy when you keep your business model simple. When I say keeping the business model very simple, it means that anybody who is your customer, or it is for the people who want to know more about your business, are able to understand your business model in a time span of less than 10 seconds. Why I say less than 10 seconds? Because that first 10 seconds will make or break of understanding a business model of what you want to convey to your customers. Having said that, what is the caveat which you can think about when building a business model in the today's era of technology 4 era? The era of technology 4 is based on blockchain platform, which is very secure. Even if we talk about in terms of how secure blockchain is, it has a Genesis framework, and then there are other aspects which can be discussed in another video. However, the proof of concept, if we talk about Bitcoin, if any entity has a malified intention, right now the proof of work is 10 minutes for a Bitcoin. There are many tweaks which can be done in the current way of doing business. Blockchain has to be implemented with IoT, that is Internet of Devices or Internet of Things, that has to work with the AI, that is the artificial intelligence, along with machine learning. And there are other aspects of AR, that is augmented reality. We have virtual reality, and there's a new concept which is emerging, which is MR, which is a combination of VR and AR, which is very successful model in Switzerland. As a business owner or as a business entrepreneur, you need to understand how to cap your risk. How are you going to cover those risk factors? Any business model is associated with a lot of risk of failures at any given point of time. So, at any given point of time, if you're able to identify those risks, what are the measures are you going to take as a team? So, the best solution or the best strategy is to identify the pain points proactively, because if you're able to identify the pain points proactively, it will help you to identify the stress early. It's in simple words, when I say identifying the stress early, it means if a business model, or as a human being also, if you're going through stress, and it can lead to a lot of disharmony in your brain also. Having said that, the same is applicable for a business model. When the business model is not working, change is the need of the hour. Change is the inevitable factor. The earlier you understand is better. That's why the concept of market research is there, whereby we try to get the feedback from the customer. What are their likings and dislikings? The best part of the internet era is there's so much information online. If you are just aware enough, you will get a lot of keywords which you should use in your business to take your business model to the next level. Having said that, as a leader or as an owner of any business model, or as a startup or as an enterprise, for the new generation entrepreneurs, a very important factor is developing the cognitive sense of identifying what is coming in future. So a very good example would be Flipkart in the current generation, where it has been able to provide sales at a skyrocket rate at every occasion in India. Flipkart has been giving bargain sales to its customer and trying to have the acquisition of customer of 1.35 billion population. So that's a huge number. So in the current trend, Flipkart has a lot of big data. So the big data would be used for deriving and understanding the customer buying needs, and it will also decide the decision making capability of other business verticals as to what the cognitive ability of other customers. E-commerce background, Flipkart is doing very well. At the same point of time, Paytm has taken over the banking segment of what is called as plastic money in India right now. Walmart is entering into a deal with Flipkart, and there's a marriage unison between the old school way of doing business with the new ideology of understanding business. So I think that's the best approach right now for any business model, whether it's in any vertical. Anyhow, you have to understand the old model, because a few of the things are very very well written, and the Six Sigma is very well defined in the old school of doing business. And when you integrate it with a new ideology of internet business and analyze those big data analytics, your business can go to the next level. India is a country of 29 countries right now, small states, but the way of living of people in those states, it's very very different from north, south, east, west. Having said that, the trend of people living in north, south, east, west, so what happens when the way of understanding between the people who are living, having different way of living life, the internet, their ability to understand and gather data in terms of buying capacity, buying time is totally different. So a purchase capacity of somebody even living in Delhi NCR, which is Delhi, Noida, and Gurgaon, is totally different. People living in Delhi would rather go to a shop and purchase the stuff. People living in Gurgaon would rather just order everything online because time is of essence. Everybody's working. So understanding that, because there's a lot of shift happening between north, south, east, west, so it's really difficult to understand what will work and what will not. Because when there's a layoff, people shift from one place to other, and when they shift from one place to other, the way of analyzing the data, way of analyzing the online content is totally different. Right now, nobody's interested in generating content. The content is being generated by the users itself, which is a good way of doing business, because in that way, you don't have to hire people to write articles for you. Make it an open platform and you get a lot of content. And when you get a lot of content on a daily basis, if you just study the matrix or the Google Analytics, you will understand the keywords, the questions, how you rank. Trusting to understand the keyword analysis of Google. Keyword tools will enable you to understand what works and what is not working. Having said that, since people in different states have different way of analyzing and understanding the content of what is available online, it's very difficult to bucket them in different categories. You cannot bucket them in the 6 basic categories of doing business. Since Walmart is aligning its business model with Flipkart, the Amazon country head has said in 5 years from now they will try to make convenience normal. When we say making convenience normal is doing online deals, it will be a normal practice. Will that be a normal practice in 5 years from now in tier 2 and tier 3 cities? I doubt it. Convenience would be normal, I doubt it, because even things in tier 2 and tier 3 cities are not up to the mark. A lot has to be done in the judiciary part also. 5 years from now, convenience would be normal, maybe in the big cities. However, small cities, still a lot has to be done on the ground level. Right now, the focus of every country is, roti kapra makan, that is food, shelter, and place to stay. Having said that, if when these 3 parameters have been checked, we can think about making convenience normal for people in India as a whole, getting 100 billion people online. It might sound very fantastic, but in reality, bringing everybody online will not support the ecosystem. Been part of the UN forum where we discussed about the SDGs, the 17 SDGs. The SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals, and the implementation of the 12th Sustainable Development Goals is being done at the enterprise level, where adoption is being taking place of Sustainable Development Goal, which is the number 12, at workplaces for green practices. The World Earth Day is around, a lot is happening. The Mother Earth is crying in many ways, and we as humans are doing what we do is develop technologies to solve problems, but at the same time, when we develop technologies, that technology gives rise to another problem. A very good example can be of solar cells. When we talk about solar cells, there is a silicon panel in the solar cells, and the silicon itself is very destructive in nature. What will we do with the silicon which is left? Because a lot of patent applications have been filed, and most of the patent applications in the solar field is going to expire around the year of 2030. Having said that, the green practices are being implemented at the enterprise level, where there is dry waste management and there is recycling of material. So when we say dry waste management, we have collecting the dry waste in one of the dustbins, and the other dustbin talks about the wet waste. In my school time, we were part of that group of making this world a better place to live in, where a vermicompost project was started. That was way back in 96-97, and I think today also in many of the societies across India, people are implementing such kind of technologies which will solve the problem at a very basic level. Because once all the societies implement such kind of technologies, I think that will have a ripple effect, and that will definitely take care of some of the problems which the Mother Earth is facing right now. So when we talk about sustainability, the impact of sustainable business models or sustainable innovations will actually help in that would be increase in cost recovery. So the implementation at the enterprise level is going to have a cumulative effect, and when there's a cumulative effect, the impact is going to happen. And when the impact is going to happen, that is indirectly going to increase the GDP of any country. Having said that, I talked a lot about a little bit about innovation, a little bit about business strategy. If you have any questions as to how to identify the pain points of doing business across the globe, I'll be happy to assist. I'm Priti Khasege, founder CEO of TCI's India. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm also reachable on other media platforms. If you have any questions, just put your questions in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you. Forward to hear from you. Bye-bye. Take care.